Hi, and welcome to Indigo Starfire. My name is Bevin, and in this reading, I'm going to be doing a viewer request topic and looking into what does the person on your mind love, admire, and are most attracted to about you. So thank you to the viewer who recommended this topic. There are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Larvikite. Group 2 is the blue Calcite. And group 3 is the Rutiliated Quartz. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead, which I do recommend using so that you can skip over me shuffling cards in between groups to clear the energy of the group I've just read for and tap into the energy of the group I'm about to read for. So again, I'll give you a minute. Please use the timestamps and we'll get into your reading. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Larvikite. So I'm going to put this, I guess, right up there to make room on the table. Okay, I'm going to start with tarot to get kind of a general overview of what does the person on your mind love and admire most about you? What are they most attracted to about you? And I'm hearing just very quickly as I am shuffling here, I'm hearing your eyes. So something about your eyes, they really love that. They love eye contact with you. I'm hearing your eyes hold the wisdom of worlds. So you may be a very intuitive person as well, and that this is something that they really admire about you. And I'm hearing as much as they don't like to admit it, they admire your intuition. Okay, so we've got 5 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, 8 of Wands, 4 of Wands, 10 of Wands, and 2 of Cups. So there's definitely an energy here of your communication skills. I'm also hearing your voice. They love that about you. It really attracts them to you. This ties into the idea of the intuition that was coming through in that kind of download as I was shuffling the cards. The words that you speak, the care I'm hearing that you put into the words that you speak. You provide a lot of reassurance to them. Just something about your voice vibrationally provides them a lot of comfort. There's a lot of respect that they have for you in terms of things that you talk about, not, I'm hearing, from a place of passion, but a place of certainty. There's an ease with which you are conveying information. It's something where you help to really ease their mind with the Ten of Wands. You have a lot of wisdom to impart, a lot of wisdom to share. They highly value your opinion, and it ties into that idea of as much as they don't like to admit it. The words that you speak or your perspective is something that they value very highly. Five of Wands really, to me, ties in with this Eight of Wands, something about your conflict resolution skills. And I'm also hearing the way that you move under pressure as well. So this can be that they have seen you really need to debate or to deal with or confront people that might have differing views as you, very defensive people that you may have come up against or were really confronted by. And it was a particular stance that they have seen you take, maybe just a general kind of approach to these things based on, this can have something to do with professionally, the nature of your work. And I'm hearing that you don't allow that to get you down. So maybe you deal with difficult or distressed or maybe irate clientele or customers from time to time or on a semi-regular basis. And in some way, you help to really diffuse situations. You don't, allow this to kind of dim your shine. You don't allow this to really get you down. You have a lot of knowledge and expertise and certainty. And I'm hearing you let people down gently, which is something that they really are attracted to. They really admire this about you. And I'm hearing words are weapons, and you use your weapons beautifully. So this can really tie into some kind of position of authority that you are in, maybe just about, an area of expertise that you have, something to do professionally, where you're placed in a position often or have historically or at some point in time were placed in a position where your words could have been very cutting to somebody, where there would have been an opportunity to almost stoop to somebody's level, lower your vibration. I'm hearing hit below the belt, and this person directly witnessed you or recognizes this about you as this kind of reoccurring tendency or trend to not take advantage of that kind of power that you have, the power of words, the power of maybe being right or being in the know about something, that this is not a force that you wield in kind of an unruly manner. It's not something that you use to your advantage, and as much as possible, even when confronted with conflict, you really stand your ground very beautifully, which is something that they deeply admire and are attracted to about you. They may have dealt with people in the past that had kind of a sharp tongue, and even if you've got kind of a fiery personality, you really hold your own, you stand up for yourself, you're not kind of a meek or a submissive person by any means. There's just something, there's an element of diplomacy with the Six of Pentacles, this generosity here, that even if you are very adamant in what you are conveying or kind of standing up for a cause or your particular position, you do so in a way that truth is conveyed without unnecessary jabs to a person's ego, or without bringing in a lot of these kind of lower vibrations. They've seen you in action, they've witnessed this, or it's something they may have even heard about from others from afar, other people who have dealt with you. This may be a compliment that others have really given you, that you operate well under pressure, that you're a very fair person, you're a very generous person. You're somebody that really almost, even if you're confronted with differing opinions, you respect people's ability to kind of just have and formulate their own opinion. You don't allow this to waver or almost take away from your sense of self, your sense of self-assurance, your self-esteem. At times it may, be very challenging to do so, but it's the idea of you always take the upper ground. You always take the high road in circumstances. And this may have been something that, you struggle with. It's difficult for you to cultivate. It's something that's kind of an uphill battle, but this person sees it very differently. They see it as coming very naturally, or one particular instance where this was a factor, someone that was dealt with. This might have been some kind of conflict that they witnessed or kind of a party to, involving a family member of theirs perhaps, or somebody in a social setting where the opportunity would have been there to really make this person feel very small in their opinion or in their approach to something, and you instead took a very kind of compassionate route. You defended your position, but at the same time, allowed kind of that space for this other individual's kind of pride to be left intact. You could have embarrassed them. You could have humiliated them. You could have made them look very foolish. And instead, it was something where on the other side of that kind of confrontation or conflict, even if there was no resolution necessarily that was achieved, it's something that could have gone a lot worse. This person almost having this kind of outside or secondary knowledge, kind of this idea of a bird's eye perspective on the situation. They understand that you, again, this idea of words as weapons, this knowledge that you have, or a way that you could have reacted to the situation, and instead they witnessed you responding to it, which is something that they're very attracted to. It's something that they deeply admire about you. Something that is very maybe different from people that they had been dealing with in the past, or it's very different from almost maybe a first impression that they had about you. At one point in time, maybe initially hearing about you, meeting you in some way with all of this kind of wands, you may have sort of like a fiery personality, a fiery temperament. It may have been something even in a professional capacity, that your reputation preceded you in a very kind of powerful manner. And when confronted by you face to face, or interacting with you, seeing you kind of move in your natural environment, in your natural state, it softened their opinion about you. It helped to shift and change their sort of position about you, and it led to this admiration that, again, this power of knowledge, the power of words, the power of communication that you possess. You use this in a very egalitarian way, and it's something that they really they respect that. This is also really tying in with all these kind of fruit on this table here on the Four of Wands. They think that you have a very sweet disposition. You may have a very fiery temperament, but there's a sweetness to you. Maybe that this person has only kind of been able to have a peek of. They've tasted that. They want more of that. This is also really tying into you smell very sweet. So this is bringing to mind somebody that almost kind of when you get done at the gym, when you get done working out and you're all sweaty and your endorphins are flowing and you're really juiced up after like this great workout that you've had or whatever, and you maybe come home or you've interacted with this person, if you've walked by this person, there's something about kind of your natural pheromones that really attracts them to you. Almost like when you're feeling very disheveled and you've really been pushing, maybe you've come back from a run or again from the gym or something like that, some kind of exertion. There's something about you in your natural kind of state, in this disheveled state, in this kind of raw almost power and force flowing through you, something about kind of the scent that you emit. They really are attracted to that. They really like that. They really like your drive and your determination as well. They like the way that you also have this perspective of, challenges being opportunities towards growth, obstacles that you may have faced in the past or even currently, the way in which you are able to keep like this abundance mindset that in some way helps you to, it's the idea of kind of turning lemons into lemonade. You've really been able to move through challenges, maybe that they are aware of in your romantic life, maybe even something to do with the nature of your work, the people that you are dealing with, and the way that you kind of ebb and flow, you kind of rise to the occasion in this sense. It's something that this person is really attracted to. They really admire that. They really like that about you. And it's something that these kind of innate, intangible qualities, that idea of, the ethereal sense of your very natural scent, when you have those endorphins going. This even, I'm hearing the scent of victory. So this even ties into something where it's a certain pheromone that you are emitting, maybe in these kind of high tension situations where you're faced with conflict and you've held your ground, you haven't put your foot in your mouth, you've not really seized that opportunity to cut someone down with your words. It's a sense of almost this humble victory there, but there's a scent that you emit. It's a frequency that you emit, almost of this excitement. I'm getting this kind of vision in my third eye of like an excited child doing a little happy dance. And it's this sense of maybe this is something you've had to work on in your life, kind of cooling a hot temper, biting your tongue, learning to kind of just stand your ground and take a wider perspective. And at the point you are at in your life, these are victories. These are causes for celebration. Every time you are kind of confronted with these old triggers from the past, these old inclinations from the past, and you react in a very different manner, there's a sense of excitement about that. All levels of yourself, you're really vibrating with congratulations. And this person is able to really perceive that. They really like that about you, that attracts them to you. It's a quality that really leans into something where they enjoy your company. They enjoy having you in their life. This very innate quality is something that they see you're somebody that they could weather storms with as well. That, in kind of troubling times and challenging times, you are somebody that they'd want to have by their side, as much as you may not think of yourself as, a level-headed person. Again, this energy of like a fiery temperament might definitely be a case for you. This person sees you very differently. They admire that inner fire, that inner strength that you have, and the way in which you have endeavored to kind of master this within yourself, to heal this impulsivity within yourself, the restraint, the measured restraint that you exercise. There's something about the reciprocity as well. The way in which you receive compliments and also give compliments is something that they really appreciate about you. And I'm hearing you see below the surface. So the words that you speak, it ties in again to this idea of kind of the ability to diffuse situations or kind of conflict resolution, this generosity, the way that you are looking kind of on the bright side, or that you seek to be a light in other people's darkness or dark times. You seek and do successfully achieve in kind of helping people sort of cool their own tempers in a way, to achieve some kind of stability where maybe there is kind of chaos and confusion. And it's something they also feel that you are a very good listener. That is something that really attracts them to you, as well as, again, with that Six of Pentacles, that element of giving really good advice. So I'm going to get into some oracle cards to get a little more depth about this. But in terms of signs with the wands, we've got fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Pentacles is Earth, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. And the cups is water, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So let's see, what else does this person find attractive about you? Do they love about you? Do they admire about you? Okay, so we've got food, nourishment, relationships, health. Kingfisher, perception, courage, femininity, balance, precision, bold actions, achieve anything you put your mind to. Round and round. And trust. So this idea of achieving anything you put your mind to, that is that determination, that kind of willingness to face challenges head on. This is something that they really are attracted to. They're attracted to the fact that you know your mind, that you are not willing to kind of compromise your values or your sense of self. This may have been a journey with this idea of round and round to really come to this place of certainty, come to this place of balance within yourself, to maybe temper down, cool down a hot temper, a short fuse that you may have had in the past. You may have, almost your words kind of got in the way or created obstacles for you in the past, but you really have, endeavored to kind of, again, sort of temper that down, cool that down. Think before speaking, to listen more, to observe more, regardless of if this person has known you for a while or they've just recently met you. If this is something where, they know of your backstory, maybe some of your struggles, they have watched you evolve, or if they're relatively kind of new into your life, there's something in your vibration of triumph. There's something in your vibration and kind of this place that you hold and this energy that you emit that speaks to that element of struggle and this journey to break free from patterns and habits within yourself, to, endeavor to kind of know yourself, know your triggers, know your weaknesses, and to really capitalize and build upon your strengths, efforts that you make, even if you don't always get it perfect, to try and get ahead of the curve, to try and anticipate challenges that may arise within yourself or the way that you operate in certain circumstances and situations. And it's almost this preemptive strike to be more mindful, to be more careful with your words, or to make sure that your words have meaning. That is, although there might be kind of this element of perception or introspection or insight, that you're not using that to your advantage, to again kind of cause humiliation to others, unnecessary harm to others on an emotional level as you are kind of conveying your point or really defending a stance in some particular manner. There's something about even the words that you speak or something that you do professionally that demonstrates to this person a lot of courage. The courage to kind of know of oneself and break through patterns and cycles is also something that really attracts them to you. They love this about you. They admire this about you. They may be learning from your example, either directly or, just kind of in watching you from afar and feeling into this from afar. It's this idea of almost emulating your vibration or striving for that vibration in some manner. You come across as a very trustworthy person. You trust your own heart. You trust your own mind. You trust your own path, which may be kind of a different path from which others around you have walked. You may have, even in this breaking free of certain patterns and cycles within yourself or within your life, you've needed to kind of forge a new path for yourself. And the way in which you are walking that very fearlessly, this is something that this person finds deeply attractive. The ways in which you prioritize with the idea of food and nourishment and health. This can tie into, fitness, that idea of going to the gym, of running, of exercising. Maybe you've changed your diet, you've changed your lifestyle, you've changed your habits. Fruit is factoring in both of these cards here. So something maybe with a vegan or a vegetarian lifestyle that has to do with mindfulness, maybe even just mindfulness of your own health and well-being. Promoting kind of this abundance within and without. This could also have to do with kind of larger ethical kind of concerns or issues you have about, the treatment of animal, the processing of foods. You've leaned into, this choice for moral reasons, and it's something that others might not understand that path. You may be, confronted with people who almost mock that or question that, have a lot of resistance to that. People within your friend group, people within your family, people just even in the community at large. And yet the information that you provide, it's very humbling to people. The example that you said is very humbling because you're very just certain in this decision that you've made. You have a lot of information to convey and doing so in a way that's very diplomatic. In some manner, you help to expand people's minds and perceptions. And this is something in what this person has learned from you in a lot of ways. This is something that they are deeply attracted to. You help them want to be a better person, and you have shown them a path to do that, which it feels like regardless of if they are walking this same path, you have at least inspired in some manner this person thinking outside of the box from how they have been living their life, how they've been prioritizing health and wellness, how they've really are starting to kind of look at that as beyond even the foods that they are eating and kind of the level of physical fitness. And this is kind of prioritizing knowledge of self so that kind of one's own strengths and deficits can be worked with in a constructive manner rather than allowing these kind of unconscious programs running in the background to kind of get in the way or thwart abundance or to become unnecessary obstacles toward achieving goals or maintaining success in whatever manner that kind of applies. So in a lot of ways, you serve as a living example to this person of this courage to kind of break from the herd, break from the crowd, break from tradition, to understand and kind of work through loops and cycles, tendencies within oneself, tendencies within kind of a lineage or a backstory or a history, and to kind of move away from that, move in another direction. I'm hearing where you go, I will follow. So this person looks at you as having a lot of leadership qualities that they really love about you. They really admire that about you. There's something about you in just your natural state as well. Again, that idea of the pheromones, or just even without trying, you are breathtaking. There's something about you that's just, it just very organically draws them to you. You help to bring out the best in this person and affect them in a manner that it almost feels very unanticipated. It's a stirring deep within themselves. You set a very profound example for this person about leading with the heart space and how kind of power doesn't necessarily have to be loud. It's something that can just be kind of a steady and silent declaration of truth. In some way, the life that you live, the way you present yourself in the world, the way you kind of, use your gifts or abilities in a very egalitarian manner, you help to bring people to a greater sense of peace, maybe directly in terms of what you do for a living or some kind of passion or interest you have, or just something vibrationally within you that as you are moving through the world, operating in your most kind of organic and natural state. It's something that others around you can't help but perceive something on a subtle level and lean toward and want to emulate and kind of cultivate that vibration within themselves as well. The idea with food here also ties into they really love your cooking as well. So if you've made this person a meal, or maybe you post recipes, you post videos of like the food that you're making, some kind of a food odyssey or journey, again, maybe kind of a transition into sort of a vegan or vegetarian lifestyle. This person is deeply attracted to that. They're finding a lot of resonance with that. And I'm hearing it tastes really good. So maybe they've tried out some of these recipes you've recommended, or that you've posted about in some manner. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be a first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got K, D, G, C, B, Q, Y, and M. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I have also launched launched a second channel here on YouTube. It's called Lady of the Dawn Tarot, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that, as well as in the featured channel section of my page. The format over there is a little different from here. I do pick-a-card readings as well as general energy check-ins, and the topics that I cover are related to spirituality, ascension, wellness, and self-love. So if any of that sounds interesting or intriguing, I invite you to check that out, and I welcome you over there, and thank you for helping that channel to grow, as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. You chose the blue calcite. So I'm going to start with some tarot to get a general overview about what the person on your mind loves the most about you. What are they attracted to? What do they admire about you? And I'm hearing, as I'm shuffling, the word choreography. So in some way, they really like your ability to plan for the future, the way that you can kind of bring together all these moving parts, the ways in which you are really able to set plans in motion. This can also tie into elements of manifestation and the law of attraction, where you're really good at setting intentions. You're really good at creating this very vivid mental picture of goals you want to work towards, and then co-creating with the universe to achieve these things. Okay, we've got the Nine of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, Seven of Cups, the Star, and Wheel of Fortune. So this idea of Wheel of Fortune definitely ties into that idea of manifestation, moving toward future goals. I'm hearing patience as well, and diligence. So something in terms of maybe there's a professional connection with this person. They've seen you work. They've seen you in motion. They've seen you really get what you set your mind to in a lot of ways. And it's something that they admire this about you. They admire this tenacity, this drive within you. this ability to achieve. And it feels a lot of this may have to do with some kind of personal obstacles and struggles that you have overcome in your life. If this is somebody who has known maybe of some difficulties that you have faced, they have either directly been in your life or have watched from the sidelines, have watched from afar, maybe even just have energetically perceived the ways in which you have picked up the pieces of your life. You have put your heart back together in a different way, in a way that is more authentic. You have maintained hope when hope was very difficult to find. You have persisted. You have pushed forward. Experiences that may have, embittered other people. You have used these as kind of fuel and motivation to make different decisions for yourself, to kind of take the raw materials of the circumstances you are presented with, as well as kind of these emotions within, and you've chosen the path of healing, the path of restoration, the path of renewal, rather than kind of remaining stuck or harboring this idea almost of heartbreak. This Four of Pentacles here, it's the idea of rearranging with this man who, there's evidence here on this wall that some of these pentacles at one time were here. It's kind of left a watermark, it's left a stain, it's left this residue, and they've been moved over into this other kind of positioning. So it's the idea of rearranging, redecorating. This can tie into the element of some kind of a glow up, some kind of a way in which you have transcended adversity, that you're very good at kind of maneuvering through difficulties and obstacles, sensing opportunity, a willingness that you have to change, to deviate from a particular plan that has been set in motion, to take shortcuts, to, take alternative routes, an openness and open-mindedness about this, a fluidity and a flexibility about this, just your kind of general approach to life, or maybe having to do with a particular circumstance or a chapter or phase in your life in general that had required you to kind of dismantle a lot of things, maybe even perceptions of yourself, major kind of shifts and changes. This may have to do with almost qualities of a spiritual awakening, some kind of dark night of the soul, these tower moments that came. And I'm even hearing that you initiated. So choices that were made to kind of move away from things that were very toxic, very kind of limited and one-sided. For some of you, this may apply to the person on your mind. They were that kind of, they were that wound. They were that heartbreak. They were that kind of, force that was instilling this kind of sense of panic or anxiety, feeling very trapped within that, very trapped within the memories, a situation where it was an impasse, a choice that you've made to push forward in another direction, to prioritize your own kind of healing and wholeness and well-being. And this can be something where this person is observing that from afar. They've witnessed your glow up. They've witnessed your rising out of kind of the ashes of circumstance. They've witnessed and admired this kind of bravery within you to allow things to kind of fall away, to fall apart, in order for the new to kind of generate a choice that you've made to move in the direction of your highest good. As difficult as that may have been, as much as kind of some of these feelings may have been a struggle to kind of release or relinquish a certain dream or a goal that this person might return to your world, this expectation energy. The idea with this little turtle here also on the Four of Pentacles, this slow moving energy, dealing with somebody who may have been very kind of resistant to change, very not kind of leaning into these opportunities to kind of grow and expand with you, and a choice that you may have made to kind of leave this in the past, choosing yourself, choosing to love yourself, choosing your own kind of abundance, maybe in another direction. What this person is able to see and observe about that, or even just what they're feeling in energetically, it's really attracting them to you. They admire this. They admire almost in a way that they don't see the same quality within themselves. They don't know, they don't know how you did it. They don't know how you do it, how you were able to accomplish this or achieve this. And it's something which they find very fascinating, very alluring, and they are kind of changing their perception as seeing you as kind of a beacon of hope and restoration to others. They may be recognizing some kind of community that you have built around this process, around this struggle, things they are able to observe from afar, maybe things that you post on social media, some kind of a platform that you have created that ties into or is directly reflective of this personal kind of journey of transformation in your own life. This person could be admiring that from afar, watching that from afar, observing that. They've watched the evolution, the change over the seasons, kind of your growth and development through this endeavor, how you've taken this raw material of kind of the disappointment you've been faced with. You've taken the lessons and kind of the blessings and you've left the rest behind. The courage you have had to move forward, to choose yourself rather than allowing yourself to almost remain stagnant or stuck and feeling like an option. And it feels like something that it's the idea of they're watching this from afar, or they're energetically perceiving this. It's kind of like watching from the shadows, watching from the wings. It's giving them a lot to think about as well, which is very it's very kind of alluring to this person. It's something that they really admire about you, your ability to stir this within, your ability to kind of make the most out of difficulties and strife, the way in which I'm hearing you wear your scars as badges of honor here, that it's something that, again, they don't see that within themselves, and it's something that they're kind of in this energy of sort of contemplation, of puzzling. How do I emulate that? It's something that they find deeply attractive. They deeply admire and like that about you, but it's confusion as far as how to generate that for themselves. It feels so out of their character. It's outside of their wheelhouse, so to speak. It may at one time even have been outside of your wheelhouse. You and this person may have really mirrored each other with this very kind of stuck energy, an energy of stagnancy. You've been that change agent in this circumstance, and it's something I'm hearing. Thank you, and it's this kind of vision in my third eye of somebody putting their hands in the namaste position and kind of bowing their head like thank you, that the actions you've taken, no matter how small, have shaken something up in this dynamic. It's shaken something up in this energy, and that can apply to this person and also others in your environment. Or again, maybe you have kind of a public platform or a forum where even if you're not discussing these things directly, it's something that in this personal evolutional process, your vibration has shifted and changed. Other people around you see and notice that, and they are admiring you and thanking you for the example that you are setting, directly or indirectly. People that know of your backstory even beyond this individual, who are very inspired by that, in the ways in which you again have had this courage and bravery to change your life, to make difficult decisions, to kind of let some things go, move away, and let things maybe literally move, and kind of let things fall by the wayside in order to create a different kind of future for yourself. There's also this element here with the Wheel of Fortune, that this person sees you as very connected to the rhythms of life. You are in a state at this point in time, perhaps it's something that you've worked to cultivate within, or it's something that this individual, perceives and they see, even if you find it difficult to see in yourself, but they recognize you as somebody who is in flow. Again, that word patience coming up, that you are somebody who may have at one point in time really sought immediate gratification, and you've cultivated a deep appreciation now for kind of the idea of good things come to those who wait, and everything has its season. You're at a stage in your life, and regardless of if this person is maybe new to your existence, they don't know your backstory, as they're seeing you right now in action, in real time, they see you as somebody in this kind of flow state. They admire and are attracted to your ability to almost sense and perceive and work with energies within yourself and within your environment when it's time to apply effort, to apply force and determination to something, versus the times where it is the time to kind of just release and relax and allow things to unfold. They see you as somebody who is kind of cultivated, maybe just intuitively, you're just leaning into this instinct and sense within yourself. Maybe it is something you've mapped out to a certain degree. Maybe you work with moon cycles, you work with kind of cycles or even just seasons in an agrarian sense, where there are certain times of the year that you're planting these seeds, you're investing and kind of applying all your attention and effort into a certain kind of area or goal or a dream. And then other times where you're just allowing those kind of seeds that you've planted to grow and to sprout. You're harvesting what you can, and being willing to kind of release what no longer serves or what didn't come to fruition, and allowing that to kind of move into that fallow space, that introspective time, that time of contemplation, in order to kind of plan and sort of grow into the next kind of era or season of your life. They really admire and respect your ability to kind of, again, go with these ebbs and flows. A certain maturity that you have within you that may have been very hard won. Some kind of personal battles or struggles they may or may not be aware of, but as they are seeing you at this point in time, they're seeing you as somebody who is deeply connected with both their higher self and grounded into the 3D material reality. It's this polarity, this balance within polarity is something that is deeply attractive to them. They are really drawn to that. So I'm going to get some oracle cards to go a little bit deeper into this, but in terms of signs, with the wands, we have fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Pentacles is Earth, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Swords is air, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Cups is water, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. The star is Aquarius. And Wheel of Fortune is mutable energy, Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius. So let's see, what else does this person love and admire about you? What attracts them to you? Okay, so I was just going to take one card from each of these oracle decks, but two came out of this particular deck, so I will take them both. We've got Milk and Honey, Never-Ending Story, Goose, New Journey, Physical or Spiritual Communication, Loyalty, Family, Stay on Your Path, Self-Discovery, Waxing New Moon, Conception, Inner Self, Expansion, and Joy. So that's beautiful that the moon came up here, because I was channeling that with this idea of flowing with the cycles of the moon, setting intentions on the new moon, checking in with yourself during the full moon, to kind of assess what is a viable seed that has been planted, what is worth continuing forth, and kind of during that sort of waning moon, allowing things to kind of fall away or plans to be altered in a certain manner. It's this constant kind of ebb and flow, this very dynamic growth energy, personal growth and dedication that this person has witnessed, that they recognize or just sense within your vibration, that they find deeply attractive and are very much admiring of within you. The idea of a never-ending story can tie into, again, that element of some personal battles that you have waged, maybe things that you do not talk about, with this heart kind of in a bubble here. Nevertheless, it is apparent within your vibration, and it's almost a subtle form of contrast to the idea of milk and honey and joy, this very kind of, even if you don't always feel optimistic, there's a hopefulness here. There's a hopefulness about you, an abundance mindset, that you are very forward thinking. You haven't allowed, the past to embitter you. You've put your heart back together. You've practiced radical self-love, or at least are endeavoring to do that, or even just taking the first steps in this direction. No matter how far along that path that you have progressed. It's something that this person is seeing and witnessing that transformation. They are perceiving that element within your vibration, that you didn't just get to this place innately or overnight, that embedded within that kind of energy of joy and gratitude is this struggle. It is something that you've needed to overcome, that you've needed to kind of choose yourself, maybe set up some very definite kind of boundaries and barriers. This ties in as well if this person is someone from your past that you've needed to kind of release or set boundaries up with. They really are attracted to this, to that choice of your own kind of well-being and abundance first and foremost, over standing in place, waiting for this person to change. You've been that change agent. It's something that they really admire. It's something that with this little mirror here on the podium, or I guess this is an hourglass even. So the way you make really good use of your time management skills, that ties into that idea of choreography that came through very initially. They admire that. They're attracted to that about you. And it's something that they really seek to emulate with the idea of the mirror, something that may have been a struggle for them, but almost your movement, your action, your ability to change, your willingness to kind of have with the idea of the new moon and this new journey, a fresh start in a completely new direction. Maybe you've changed geographic location. You've moved in the direction of what makes your heart sing. You've chosen yourself. You've chosen self-love. You've kind of released this person with love even. And it's something that they're deeply attracted to. They're admiring this. It's pulling them in towards you, or at least pulling them deeper within themselves to that energy of change, to that kind of inner self, that expansion, that conception, that idea of really looking within, taking that inventory within. What do I need to work on within myself? A lot of acceptance of responsibility that you've taken, but not shouldering unnecessary burden upon you. You may have had a tendency in the past to almost be a fixer or to be a people pleaser, almost overgive. And there's some kind of boundary or barrier to that where you're prioritizing self-care and self-love, loyalty to your own kind of well-being and sort of abundance mindset, your highest vibrational potential, that this is something that really attracts this person to you. It feels that a lot of this attraction is, again, an example that you set, maybe even the ways in which they see you kind of either emanating this vibration that is subtly affecting others, or in some way that you have some kind of platform or even a podium, a public forum where you are kind of conveying sort of the fruits of this discovery of self, this new journey, some kind of new endeavor, a fearlessness, plans that you've set into motion, this consistency, this drive to really give birth or create something new to help other people kind of find that vigor within themselves and that determination within themselves to overcome these kind of repetitious stories, these kind of toxic or limiting beliefs and patterns within self. You are that change maker, and in some way, whether you're directly kind of endeavoring this, or it's even just kind of a byproduct, a consequence of sort of the vibration you cultivate within, this person is recognizing, again, maybe literally in what they are observing or what they're just able to really sense energetically through you. Something about kind of the aura and the glow that you give. It's inspirational. It speaks to hope. Maybe you speak words of hope to others. You help others to kind of take those first steps on that journey within toward kind of building their confidence, rebuilding their life in some manner. And that is the major quality about you that really this person finds deeply attractive. They find that deeply inspirational. Even if they are, again, the one that you've had to release, they're kind of the subject matter, or almost that catalytic energy that kind of instigated this whole sort of change, this departure, this kind of moving away from a particular way of being, a particular lifestyle, tower moments, maybe some you have instigated within your own life, cycles that you have willingly broken out of. even though it may include this person as part of that kind of material, nevertheless, it's something that they really admire your courage and your strength, and the fearless self-love that you are embodying and you are practicing, or that you are starting to step into if you're just kind of at the beginning stages of that. It's something that they deeply respect, they deeply admire, they're deeply attracted to that, and it's helping them to start to kind of feel into a different way of doing and being within themselves as well. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got A, K, G, X, V, Z, U, H, and M. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I've also launched a second channel here on YouTube. It's called Lady of the Dawn Tarot, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that, as well as in the featured channel section of my page. The format over there is a little different from here. I do pick a cards as well as kind of general energy readings and check-ins. And the topics that I cover are related to spirituality, wellness, ascension, and self-love. So if any of that sounds interesting or intriguing, I invite you to check that channel out. And I welcome you there and thank you for your help in growing that channel very organically, as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose the Rutiliated quartz. So I'm going to start with tarot to get a general overview of what the person on your mind loves most about you. What do they admire? What attracts them to you? And I'm hearing your voice. So some of you may be a singer. It feels to relate to kind of music. And I'm getting the idea of someone singing in the shower or singing in the car. Maybe little songs that you kind of make up. Even if you're not kind of professionally musically minded, you may kind of have a tendency to kind of whistle while you work is what I'm hearing, or hum, or just sing. This can also, though, relate to goals that you have, things you are endeavoring towards, or an active practice that you are involved in as far as making music, songwriting, or even things to do with singing or something involving instruments. This is something that really attracts them to you. They really admire that, and I'm hearing you're very talented. So we've got the King of Wands, the Ace of Wands, Six of Cups, Page of Cups, Three of Swords, and Eight of Cups. So with the scene here of the canvas, the easel, and the paints, you may be somebody who's artistically inclined. There's something about your artistic expression. Again, that idea of your voice, singing, dancing, poetry, things that you create, maybe paintings that you make, something in terms of visual arts, all of that, even just kind of an artistic temperament, the way that you see the world, the way you view the world. I'm hearing in an array of colors that is quite magnificent. This is something that really attracts this person to you. You help them to see the world more vividly. There's something about the way that you view the world, or even just a pursuit of goals and dreams, despite kind of disappointment or rejection or obstacles that you have faced. Either this is some dream from maybe when you were younger that you've recently just resurrected, or it's this endurance energy with the Ace of Wands and the King of Wands. You've not given up on this. You've pushed forward in some way, and it fills this person with this energy of admiration and hope, this curiosity that they now are starting to kind of quest into within themselves in terms of dreams that were deferred, a sense of your kind of larger goal and vision, your willingness to kind of allow your creativity to flow in a very organic and natural manner. It's inspiring to this person to really start to live their life more creatively. There's something also with kind of the times that you spend together, the conversations that you have, kind of just, I'm also hearing watching you in your element. It fills this person with a lot of kind of a sense of joy and simplicity as well. The way in which you appreciate the simple things, the little gestures, these kind of slight actions that they take towards you, maybe even kind of a joking side of this person, their sense of humor that others might not necessarily understand or just might think of as kind of childish. There's something in your laugh, in your giggle. They really love this about you. I'm hearing I love that you humor me. So even if the things that they say are not necessarily funny, you kind of just, you honor that kind of part of them, that goofy side of them, that kind of quirky side of them. They feel very much to be a kindred spirit with you. They find a lot of resonance within you. And again, this idea of kind of this artistic temperament, maybe things that you are doing at this point in time, or that since you have met this person, since they've been dealing with and interacting with you, kind of watching you go through this process maybe of having some kind of rejection, having some kind of obstacles, a way in which you've needed to sort of reapproach this dream or this situation with fresh eyes and from a new perspective. It has provided them with a lot of encouragement, as well, as far as things in their past that they may have given up on too quickly. obstacles that had presented themselves that they had just looked at as complete dead ends or impassable blocks and barriers. You're helping to stir this person's creativity inside once again. You're helping them to imagine and to dream, to give more credit to kind of visions or goals that they may have had in the past. They see you as almost, again, this idea of kind of transformation, that the way in which you take concepts or ideas, even goals that you have, independent of kind of artistic expression, although that definitely factors in here, and how you render these things, how you kind of move and flow and channel with these kind of currents within you, these muses, the things that you find inspiration in. These little things, the simple things, the small joys, taking time to really take in the world and appreciate, and this gratitude that you have. All of this is something that they really admire about you. They love this quality about you. The way you almost see the world through the eyes of a child, not with naivete, but with a sense of wonder, with a sense of potential, with a sense of, despite what has maybe happened in the past, that the future is yet unwritten, the steps that you are taking to be very proactive in kind of crafting the future that you want. Learning from the mistakes, a willingness that you've had, and just kind of an ability to kind of flow and release certain goals, to reimagine things, approach kind of difficulties or topics from a different angle. Again, that sense of, through the eyes of a child, a sense of wonder in some way. This can also really tie into if you have children or you work with children or they've seen you kind of interact with kids, they see you as a very nurturing person. They see you as somebody who speaks to children on their level. This can really tie into as well kind of like storybook time, something to do with kind of these magical tales of other worlds that you weave, even kind of the stories that children can tell. You listen to this with a lot of kind of understanding and empathy. You help children to feel very kind of validated in their stage of development that they are at, rather than a lot of kind of grown-ups or adults who might just dismiss things as kind of fantasy or fairy tale, or just kind of look at the tall tales or kind of the magical thinking that children might have as and kind of scold them, kind of ground them down into reality, and seek to kind of disprove a lot of that. There's a sense of, you go into that magical space with kids. You help to really encourage kids to keep that kind of magic alive. You give validation to that. Children may really gravitate towards you, or again, they see you as somebody who's a very nurturing presence. They see you as somebody that they would want to start a family with. They would want to even kind of blend a family with. Even if this family involves maybe even pets, for example, it's still this quality of being very much a nurturing individual. A fierce protective energy as well is something that they really admire about you. And it's I'm hearing you make a house a home. So this can really tie into something with how you decorate your surroundings, kind of the smells that are coming out of that home. It's bringing to mind the idea of things that are baking, things that are cooking in the kitchen, incense maybe, or candles, potpourris that are around. It's a fresh, clean scent. It's a warm scent, a lot of sunlight. I'm hearing you are the sun in a lot of people's lives. So this can really also tie into this idea of being a shoulder to cry on, something you do professionally, or something that's even just part of, it feels like a deep empathic nature on your part, that you sit with people in the darkness. You sit with people through their periods of heartbreak. You help people to kind of move beyond and make sense of difficulties or things that weigh heavily on their heart, either through an example you personally have set of kind of transcending obstacles, coming to terms with difficulty or rejection, or kind of heaviness, or even sort of energies of depression, for example, stemming from a variety of factors. Or this is just something where in your energy, people feel very safe and nurtured in your presence. It's an energy of flow here. There's not a pressure that you put upon people, but it's just almost gently holding hands, showing the way forward, helping people to kind of find that core within themselves and to kind of reimagine their future, to move beyond kind of the difficulties or disappointments that they've incurred in their life as far as how things might not have turned out as they had wanted them to. Difficulties that have occurred. This person sees you as somebody that a lot of people come to perhaps for advice and guidance. You give very good guidance and advice, and you are also somebody who's just a very good listener, and that speaks volumes is what I'm hearing. So even in that silence, even again kind of holding space for people while they're in this process of kind of processing their own experiences, that this is something that this person really is attracted to about you. There's also something here with kind of volunteer work that you may do, or ways in which even people that are having difficulties, you're the kind of person to check in with them, to not just kind of leave people alone in difficult times, or, a tendency that's people can often have to be very overwhelmed by difficulty, by heaviness, by periods of kind of strife, maybe even sort of illness or sickness that goes on, and people, kind of distance themselves from that. A lot of people distance themselves from that. You're somebody that moves closer to that. You're somebody that will show up to be that source of healing. You may work in kind of a healing profession, maybe something of a spiritual nature as far as healing and restoration, or you may work in like the healthcare profession, for example. They see you as a healer, as somebody who restores a balance. You help to walk others home. So this can even tie into work that you do with the elderly or the infirm, that this is something that these are qualities that this person is deeply attracted to within you. They deeply admire that within you, that you don't shy away from kind of the elements of life that aren't so pretty. You don't shy away from that. You are a companion for people in kind of in their darkest hour. You are that way shower forward for people to kind of cross that bridge or that threshold into personal healing and wellness and development, or just whatever the next phase of their experience might be. I'm hearing the word hospice, so you may work with people that are kind of at the end stages of their life, and you are able in some way to really help people kind of process this grief. You may also deal with the bereaved as well, people who have lost someone or who have incurred some kind of loss within themselves. Maybe just something in your own kind of personal history, your own examples of how you've dealt with these losses. You're an inspiration to others. You help them to kind of move through and to process the pain and the grief. And it's something that this person, perhaps this is how they have come to know you. It's in this context. They have seen you work. They have seen you in motion. They know this about you. They've observed this about you. And they find it to be one of your best qualities is your compassion. And I'm also hearing humanitarian. So that can definitely be something that, again, this quality of just wanting to help people, wanting to help as well with this bird in the cage, and then we've got the bird flying. It's this idea of liberation, helping people to move beyond their stories, move beyond defeat, move beyond difficulties of the past, and reclaim their freedom and kind of the potential to really kind of move into a space where opportunity is what's capitalized upon versus, continuing to kind of dwell and be stuck and ruminate in the past and what is gone. You help people to kind of find renewal in some way, to restore hope, to kind of remember that will to live in a certain extent. And it's something that this person deeply admires. They're deeply attracted to this. They love this about you. It's a softness about you as well. Something just within your vibration, within your energy that puts, I'm hearing children and animals and the infirm at ease. So you may just be, again, working in a healing profession, or this person sees you as a healer in general. They are very healed by your energy. Others are very healed by your energy, by your presence, maybe even by things that you create or do artistically, something you do professionally, or it's even just your innate vibration. ways and steps that you have taken to kind of further or to explore these aspects and avenues of yourself, some kind of calling that you have answered. This person finds that very attractive, very admirable. They love that quality about you. This may even tie into kind of alternative healing or spiritual healing modalities, things that kind of move beyond kind of the mainstream or accepted kind of ideas about medical healing and things of that nature. You take things to a different level. This is almost therapy almost in a way, but on kind of like a spiritual sense, focusing on kind of the wellness of people as mind, body, and soul, that maybe you have experienced earlier kind of in your own personal life story or what you were doing professionally. Maybe you were focused more on healing of the body, healing of the mind, and kind of the arc that your narrative has taken to where you have now started to explore healing at the soul level, or that you're kind of creating an amalgam of all of these kind of elements of self. This can even tie into just your personal philosophy, how you live your life, how you kind of tend to your own health and well-being, that this person finds this to be a very attractive quality about you, that you're willing to kind of speak this truth and kind of move off the beaten path in the direction of kind of seeing people not just from the surface or kind of the idea of wellness from the surface, but from this very well-rounded perspective. It feels to resonate with a lot of this individual's kind of ideas or inclinations within themselves, and I'm hearing you give voice to it. So maybe kind of roadblocks that they had encountered, or kind of difficulties or distress they had had in what is available in a mainstream sense for health and wellness. And you really have shown the way. You've been that guiding light through your own kind of exploration, your own experimentation with these things, a very unique kind of practice or method that you have crafted for yourself, or that you are exploring or working on. This person is observing that from afar, or are directly involved in your life and hear about this. They're witnessing this. They're seeing this growth and evolution firsthand, the change within you, the way you've been able to really change your life, or the way in which you are helping others to change their lives. And it's something that is really inspiring this person. It's helping them to really kind of reevaluate some difficulties within themselves, things that might have just been compartmentalized, or they had reserved themselves to thinking this is just the way it is. And you're helping them to see that the story can be rewritten. There's also an energy of fearlessness here with these wands, and kind of with the children here in the Six of Cups, this inner child sort of stuff right here, the ways in which you've really confronted some of these shadowy parts of yourself, things from your upbringing that might have been very difficult, deeply entrenched kind of wounds or difficulties or traumas within you, and you've addressed these things, or are in the process of addressing these things in a very kind of wide way, in a very maybe unconventional way, in a very holistic manner, that it's something that, again, it's serving to inspire this person. They admire this. They admire how you are almost the way shower for others, of a different way of kind of being and doing and sort of navigating through the experiences maybe which shape people in their early or formative years. They also find you very physically attractive as well with the wands energy here. That is worth noting. So this can be something where, if there's a particular feature of yours that you focus on and you think, oh, this is my worst quality, this person in fact finds that to be one of your most endearing qualities. So that may resonate with some of you. You know exactly what that's talking about. And this is that confirmation that they love this about you. Don't change a thing. So I'm going to get some oracle cards to get more clarification and depth about this. But before I do, I want to go over the signs that came out here in tarot. And with wands, we've got fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. The cups is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And the swords is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So... Oh, and then also before I move on with these, the black and white swans here, this also ties into this element of balance. This person, I'm hearing you're very well put together, so maybe a lot of kind of differing sort of interests or talents or abilities that you have, that you've really crafted into something very unique and very special, that they really like this about you. They also see you as somebody that through maybe some shadow work that you have done, inner child healing, the idea of kind of wellness in a holistic sense. They see you as somebody who's achieved a lot of balance. They admire and they are attracted to the way that you also have this very beautiful kind of work-life balance. Maybe you have turned some kind of passion or interest into a profession for yourself. You've carved out time for that. They love the way you take care of these kind of responsibilities, and that you are able to, really hold space for both good days and difficult days within your own experience and within kind of the dynamics of other people. And it's that idea of almost sitting with somebody in the darkness is one of the qualities that this person admires and loves and is attracted to the most about you. And again, that word compassion is coming through. So let's see what else, or deeper maybe into what they love and admire and are attracted to about you. Okay, we've got Moonstone, Mystery, Intuition. Heron, Balance, Renewal, Determination, Prosperity. Answers reside within transformation. Follow your heart. Come to the Edge. Move these so I can try to get everything on camera. Okay, and then we've also got the Dog, Loyalty, Sincerity, Unconditional Love. So all of these animals here can also tie into your relationship to animals. It's really reinforcing that idea of children and animals are drawn to you. This is something that this person, they find it very endearing. They find it very kind of funny and fun to watch how you interact with animals. You may, consider your pets your family. You may treat them or refer to them as your children. It's something that, this person really likes that about you. It again ties into this element of sort of nurturing. But all of these animals in these cards really tie into the idea also of rewilding oneself. The idea of moonstone and the moon and the subconscious and kind of these, these residual kind of wounds, things from the past, the ways in which you sit with others and kind of represent that light as they are kind of moving through their own process of deeper self-understanding, the ways in which you lead by example or have led by example in the past in this process. Diving deep into that shadow work. It's a strength. It's a strength of character. It's an element of courage that this person really respects about you. They admire this. They seek to emulate that. Come to the Edge really speaks about marching to the beat of your own drum, a very kind of unique element of your healing practice, a very unique path that you are carving out for yourself, ways in which you've broken away from maybe the status quo or the mainstream or something that you were doing, that you were pursuing, a particular path, a particular kind of course or study, something professionally even. This can even tie into, again, that idea of like these core wounds within self that you have worked to understand and to come to terms with and to release. It's heavy lifting, it's deep shadow work, and you make it look so easy. This is something that this person really respects about you, that you lead with love, that you follow your heart in the direction that you're called. This idea also of the howling wolf can tie into, again, some call within you, maybe an artistic call, this inspiration, this muse, something that you have been called to do, to create, to design, to implement, or to invest your life and your efforts into. as unconventional as that might have been, as much as you might have been kind of faced with maybe rejection in the past, you've kept returning to it in a new and different way. You've continued kind of pressing forward with determination towards that goal. The idea again of kind of music, singing, songwriting, you're singing your own very unique tune out into the world, a very unique vibration that you hold within. You may be this quirky and unconventional individual, and this person loves these aspects about you. They love how you don't fit into a precise box, that you are a mystery, you are very elusive, you are very, you almost transform. It's constantly evolving kind of version of yourself. You may have a lot of different interests, a lot of different talents, irons, and a lot of different fires, a lot of different plans and goals that you're working toward, that other people might see as kind of this sort of magical thinking, these kind of dreams that seem out of reach. They may see you as kind of flighty or just too like off in fantasy land. This person loves that quality about you. They see you as somebody who, envisions a very kind of beautiful and rich world, a scheme of colors that others find it very hard to perceive, kind of a psychic, intuitive, and energetic sense about you that they find to be almost one of your best qualities, is how you view the world. The idea of dog and loyalty, again, it's that idea of being a very good listener, sitting with others in kind of their darkest moments, helping others to move into a place of acceptance and renewal, and a willingness to, kind of in the time that is kind of most organic and comfortable, to again transition. The idea of transition, and the dog can again reinforce that idea of hospice. So helping people to kind of transition into the spiritual realm, to transition into whatever the next experience is at a soul level for their incarnation. You can also be involved in something that helps people to kind of transform their perception of themselves, rewrite the narrative of who they feel they are, transforming pain into power. This process of transmutation being that living example of that. These are some of the best qualities. You are that living embodiment. You're not just a spokesperson. You are actually living proof that change is possible in this manner, and that this is something that this person is deeply drawn toward. They admire this. They admire this strength and this dedication that you have toward pursuing a goal or a vision or a feeling within yourself, a sense of kind of levity within yourself that even in the darkest hours may be a bit obscured, and yet you follow very intuitively this kind of light or calling within you. It's an inspirational energy. It's almost leading them in the direction or back, deep within themselves to kind of resurrect and sort of breathe life back into things they may have thought were just too difficult to accomplish, too difficult to face. You invigorate this person in some manner to seek to kind of balance out the light and shadow polarities within themselves. You lead with the heart, and you encourage this person as well to really do that, to search within, to answer that call within, and to kind of make their voice and their authenticity known in a more profound manner. And so it's a very beautiful energy here as far as what they really admire about you, your best qualities, what they love about you, what they are attracted to about you. It's all of these little kind of intricate and strange and peculiar kind of aspects of yourself that may have been overlooked or underappreciated by others. Again, that idea of things that you might think of as flaws or kind of your worst qualities. They think these things are the best things about you, and not to change a thing. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got L, N. Oh, and before I finish these initials, I'm also hearing the word visionary. So they may consider you that, a visionary, somebody who is able to really, they're very adept kind of at manifestation, at kind of creating a vision for the future and very creatively kind of reaching that. This can tie into kind of artistic visionary as well, as kind of the major thing that is attractive about you to this person. We've also got the letter X. U, K, and V. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I've also launched a second channel here on YouTube. It's called Lady of the Dawn Tarot, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that, as well as in the featured channel section of my page. The format over there is a little different from here. I do pick-a-card readings as well as general kind of energy check-ins, and the topics that I cover are related to spirituality, wellness, self-love, and ascension. So if any of that sounds interesting or intriguing, I invite you to check that channel out, and I thank you for your support in helping that channel grow, as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.